It's Tuesday, September 18th, 2012. I'm your host, Jakari Jackson, and this is the INFOWARS Nightly News.
Tonight on the INFOWARS Nightly News, Jakari Jackson speaks with a Noble Live filmmaker, Holland Vanden Nieuwenhof, about the potential for upcoming false flag terror. Plus, a historic battle between the judicial and executive looms as Obama's White House pushes its unconstitutional dictatorship on unsuspecting Americans. Then, the DHS purchases 200 million more rounds of ammo. All that and more on the INFOWARS Nightly News.
Welcome back. Top story headline. Government wins temporary freeze of military detention order. This is a very scary thought, meaning that they had just passed this in the first place. The government won an emergency suspension of a ruling that blocked the indefinite military detention of terrorism suspects after arguing it would hurt America's ability to fight wars overseas. An appeals court order late Monday granted a temporary stay sought by the Justice Department after a judge had ruled unconstitutional, a part of a statute that authorizes indefinite military detention for people deemed to have substantially supported al-Qaeda, the Taliban, or associated forces. You mean like the CIA? The Justice Department argued the judge's September 12th injunction barring enforcement of a portion of the National Defense Authorization Act's Homeland Battlefield provision would harm the U.S. war efforts abroad. I seem to be a bit confused of how a Homeland Battlefield provision keeps you from handling business overseas. You turn the homeland into a battlefield, and that somehow keeps you from getting some terrorist in some far-off country who probably doesn't even exist, or you've killed 3 or 4 times. It's pretty much a ridiculous scenario, and we had just won a victory by having this removed, and now it's right back there less than a week later. So stay tuned to the INFOWARS Nightly News. They may change it again by the end of the week and make it even worse. I don't even really know what to say about this. It's really ridiculous, and we see people hard at work at keeping the NDAA alive, even though it's the Patriot Act on steroids. It's a horrible piece of, I don't even know what you would call it, and probably words I shouldn't call it here on the Nightly News. But hopefully keep fighting good judges and get this overturned, because we don't need anything like this in this country, nothing remotely like this, to where you can be snatched up in the middle of the night and disappeared into a black hole where nobody can find you. Even the FBI say they don't like this. So stay tuned to the INFOWARS Nightly News as this story develops. Next story. Headline: Pentagon doesn't trust its own robots. That's right. There's a lack of trust among operators that given unmanned system will operate as intended, found the Defense Science Board. One major reason, most Defense Department deployments of unmanned systems were motivated by the pressing needs of conflict, so systems were rushed to theater with inadequate support, resources, training, and concepts of operation. War may spur innovation, but it's not always the best place to beta test. That is right. Do not beta test in war. That's pretty much a given. Why would you do something such as that if you could avoid it at all? I mean, we see these unmanned robots that patrol your own neighborhoods now here in the U.S., and they're saying that they don't trust their own robots, but they're there to keep you safe. So, yeah, we beta test in war. They don't work right, but we'll roll them out anyway because somebody wants money, you know, so we'll just keep pushing them out. And the article goes on to say about 1/3 of the military's entire air fleet is robotic. And that makes me feel real good seeing that these robots that they don't even trust themselves constitute 1/3 of the air fleet. You know, it's Skynet coming soon to neighborhood near you. If you haven't seen these drones already, we have them here in Austin. Alex has seen them. Now, that particular drone that Alex saw was operated by a gentleman. I think he was doing some kind of construction surveillance or something like that. But a lot of these drones are unmanned, and they want to give them AI, artificial intelligence, so they can deem what's a threat on their own. And they say themselves, they admit right here in this article, that they don't trust their own systems. So watch out and watch for the sky is the only thing I can tell you. Moving on now. controversial naked airport body scanners to be scrapped after failing to receive European approval. Somebody has some sense. Well, look here. The European Commission ruled that the cancer risk was close to zero. I don't know about that. But under Brussels legislation, the 3-year trial period has elapsed, and it was decided not to prioritize them for permanent use across the continent. Continuing, airport bosses who were waiting for the green light on the machines now say that they have been left with no option but to remove them. Hey, whatever your statistics tell you, Brussels legislation, I have a friend who's an X-ray tech, and he says when he does his X-rays, he stands behind a lead wall. Superman can't see behind a lead wall, but the guys at the TSA just like to stand right there next to the naked body scanners and get fried. And I'm not demonizing the TSA workers. I actually feel pretty sorry for them. Well, it's not off topic. I always say that. But actually, I applied for the TSA. This is probably like 2007 or 2008. I didn't know anything about them at the time. And I went and filled out an application for the TSA. And my mom, she just told me, she looked at me, she said, son, don't work there. And I didn't work there, and I don't have cancer, and I thank God to this day, and thank you, Mom, for making a good call on that one. So, yeah, they say their numbers say that the cancer risk is very low. Whatever you found, whatever your reason was, good for you, Europe, for kicking these things out of your country. You don't need them in your country. You don't need these guys patting you up. I'm not exactly sure how things operate in Europe if they have a situation close to the TSA. But naked body scanners, get rid of them. And actually, if we can throw that article back up, we can take a look at what these things do. You see a look right there. You can clearly see this man, you know, and in his privates, you know, they say that these things can't see through your clothes. And keep thinking that they don't keep this stuff on file. How did we get it if they don't keep this stuff on file? Ask yourself that question. How did we get that picture right there if they don't keep this stuff on file? So good for you, Europe. Hopefully we can get some sense here in the States as well. Next topic. And this is probably just as important as our top story. DHS purchased 200 million more rounds of ammunition. They already have over $1 billion. Oh, okay, well, let me read the article. DHS purchases 200 million more rounds of ammunition. This from our very own Paul Joseph Watson. A series of new solicitations posted on the FedBiz Ops website show that the DHS is looking to purchase 200 million rounds of .223 rifle ammunition over the next 4 years, as well as 176,000 rounds of .308 caliber. And let me assure you that these are some big, hard-hitting rounds. I've had a chance to shoot these myself. These aren't, you know, little play rounds. These are some serious sniper ammunition. The article goes on to say that over 1.2 billion bullets have been purchased in the last 6 months alone. And they keep saying, yeah, we need various things. We need them for target practice. We need them to do this. We need them to do that. I mean, there's only so much target practice you're going to do before you actually go into live action shooting, whatever you're shooting. I mean, even if you're a hunter, you shoot so you can go hunt, or, you know, recreation or whatever it is that you do. So it's really a scary thing that they would go out and buy more articles all the while blacking out how much they can get. I mean, we get these sources where we can, but they've been blacking out their bullet purchases, so maybe they have more that they've been able to hide from us. But meanwhile, if you go to your local, you know, gun store and you buy some bullets, your neighbor could snitch on you and have somebody show up at your house. I mean, it's ridiculous that you yourself as a citizen can't arm yourself to protect yourself. And hey, if you can protect yourself, you live way out in the sticks, then there's no need for, you know, Sheriff of Mayberry to come out there and see how you're doing if he knows you're strapped to the teeth. So just another example of the Obama administration's hypocrisy, saying you can't have guns, but we'll load up, we'll have them. It was 6 bullets for one person. I don't know how many it is now. They probably empty a full clip on you now. But yeah, they keep building up and up and up. And it's something that's very discouraging. They can't even say you can smoke pot and own a gun. I'm not encouraging anybody to smoke pot. And not even encourage you to own a gun if you're not stable to. But if you are, hey, there's nothing wrong with that. I like guns myself. Rambling aside, it's now time for the quote of the day. This from Frank Lloyd Wright. TV is chewing gum for the eyes. Yes, that from Mr. Frank Lloyd Wright.
Alex Jones here with a message that could revolutionize health in this country. Going back about a year and a half ago, I began to learn about the incredible health effects of longevity products. Aaron Dykes lost 92 pounds. We're going to show you some before and afters. Aaron, break down what happened, your story.
I've worked really hard with diet and exercise to try to lose weight, but I just didn't get the results. It just didn't happen. Then I saw what you were doing with InfoWarsTeam.com. I wasn't even trying to lose weight, but I got it because I wanted to feel better energy. I wanted that nutrition. Didn't even understand how that could kickstart my own weight loss goals, but the products did that for me. I found myself suddenly losing weight, more energetic, wanting to exercise, wanting to eat the right foods.
And they don't even advertise it as weight loss. I want to challenge our radio listeners to go to InfoWarsTeam.com, sign up as a distributor, and get wholesale pricing discounts at InfoWarsTeam.com.